Have you always wondered why can some people start businesses soon and then some people cannot, or takes them a little while longer for them to go ahead and step out on faith and start that business and do what they need to do? I know that's a lot of us have experienced that, or maybe you even going through it right now. I know for me, I have, and I tell you, this live today is for people who have felt like they may have been stuck, and they're trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to do to get unstuck and to actually start that business? So, hi, my name is Kimberly Benjamin. I'm your Master HR Compliance Coach, and I'm here today because I want to share with you what are some things that you can do to get unstuck and finally start that business that you have. A lot of you know that I am a Master HR Compliance Coach. I help businesses to stay legal and stay compliant with HR employment laws. And I help them to, get away from lawsuits, because lawsuits can be very expensive. And I help my clients save up to over $250,000 without having to pay court fees, fines, or lawsuits. And that's what I do. And I'm here today for the business owners, for you. You've had that idea regarding business, and you probably have been a little lax regarding getting started with it. Maybe you've had a lot of different types of businesses or business ideas, and you're wondering, okay, which one do I go with? Is this really legitimate, or is this just me trying to be creative and you're coming up with all these kind of things? I understand, because that's me, and that's the reason why I came out today to share with you how I've was able to identify, okay, what do I need to do with my business to get unstuck? Because truth of the matter is, if you don't move and you don't get started, you'll always be stuck. And then you'll be wondering, okay, where could you have been if you would have gotten started with that idea early on in your career or early on in your life? So I'm going to share with you some tools that you can use, as well as some ideas that you may want to jot down. And while you're joining, feel free to say hello. Let me know that you're here. Feel free to go ahead and select one of your favorite emojis, or just go ahead and type down in the comments section hello and let me know where you're from. I really would appreciate it. I like finding out where people are from when I do the lives. We have a very large Facebook following, and I know we have people in different countries, different cities, and I travel a lot, so I just like to know where people are watching from. So feel free to type down below in the comments where you're from, or select one of your favorite emojis, and you can go ahead and put that in there as well. And also, for those of you that you may have some friends or family members, people in your Facebook page, your Instagram page, or Twitter page that may be interested in business, feel free to go ahead and share. Hit the share button so they can get the tips as well. So let's get back to, what do we need to do to get unstuck? And I tell you, to me, unstuck, one of the things that come to my mind initially is sometimes when we're stuck, we're in fear. We don't know what to do. We feel like we really can't move, or we may be a perfectionist and we want to make the right decision, so we don't move at all. And a decision to not make a decision or to not move is still a decision. And my goal today is that you understand it's okay to be a little unsure, but I want to make sure that you're able to have action to when it comes to moving forward with your business, because we don't have all of the answers. We may make some mistakes along the way. I tell you, being an entrepreneur or a business owner, that takes some really critical and important character traits that we should have. And not everyone is a great business owner or should be in business or start a business. So this topic here is really important, that we pay attention to how do we handle it when we get stuck. What do we need to do when you have these business ideas? And what should you do first, second, or third? Well, the very first thing I want you to do is, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and pull out your pen. Go ahead and get you a notepad and a pen to write, because I want you to write these down. For those of you that are watching the replay, feel free to just type in replay. You're watching the replay of it, and then watch the video again so you can get some tips. So the very first thing I want you to do is make it a habit to keep a journal with you. To keep a journal, a notepad. Some of my friends, they keep that on their desk, like their area right before they go to bed, on that desk where the lamp is. So when God gives you ideas, saying, wait a minute, I have another idea that I may want to implement in my business, I don't want you to forget it. And that can happen. So it's important that you're able to quickly access a tool that you can jot down your notes. So as you're getting these ideas, and it could be a whole lot of them, and if you don't get up and write it down, then you will forget. And there's nothing like knowing that, wait a minute, I had an idea or I had a task to do, but then you wreck your brain trying to remember, what do I need to do? What was it that I forgot? And I don't want you to forget. So invest in a notepad or just like a little journal and keep that with you so that when you get ideas, you can jot it down. It's going to help you to stay organized down the road. But make sure that you do that first. Tip number 2, I want you to be comfortable writing in your journal, writing in on that notepad, writing down those ideas that you have for your business. And a lot of you may have multiple ideas. One thing I know by being a business owner, we have a lot of ideas. Some of them work, some of them don't. But if we don't try, and we don't at least try to implement and start and activate, as my coach would say, activate, get started with it, then you'll always will be in the same place. So don't be afraid to step out there and get started. And it starts with you first writing it down. Now, I know for me, I get a lot of ideas, a lot. And I took some assessments in my career. And I know that 2 of my giftings is teaching. That's the reason why I love doing these lives and providing content for you all, because it's my gift. It's one of my gifts, and I love it a lot. The other gift that I have, my motive gift, is called administration. And that was from taking some assessments as well. And that is the person that's behind the scenes, providing resources. They don't have to be out front. A lot of times people think that an individual likes to be out front and likes to be on camera and likes to be in front of people's faces. I have no problem with that because I do enjoy that for the teaching gift that I have. But for administration, that person really likes to be behind the scenes, organizing things, using charts and graphs and putting together spreadsheets and identifying what resources are best for an individual and making those connections. That's my gift too. First is administration, and then second is in teaching. So I share that with you to let you know that it's important that you feel comfortable being organized and writing down your thoughts. Because even if you don't use it now, or you don't start that idea now, or you may not start that idea that you've written down in your book this year, I tell you this, when you start looking at that book over and over in your journal over and over again, it will be clear to you when you need to go ahead and pull up, or pick up, I should say, that next project. And that happens to me a lot. I get ideas, I write them down, I keep track of my ideas. I have my little filing system in my office, and who knows, I may not tackle all the ideas that come to my mind, but I'll write them down though. And it's amazing to me that eventually I'm able to go ahead and implement a new element of my business. That was an idea that came to me that the Lord has given me and the Lord has given you. So don't despise small beginnings. Don't act like you're going to remember everything in your mind. Invest in a journal and in a book and actually use it and document and write down those ideas that you have. If you want, for those of you who like to be a little bit more organized, you can actually assign a date next to those ideas that come to your mind. But I don't want you to be so concerned with that, because like I said before, sometimes we miss the mark, sometimes we hit the mark. And I don't want you to be so concerned with the deadline, because you may think next year you're supposed to implement that part of the business or that new idea. But when you really look at it, you're probably supposed to wait 2 more years down the road. And that goes back to the reason why it's important that you at least write it down. When you write it down, then you're able to remember it and then put it in your plan in the years to come. Here's a next tip for you to know what you need to do to get unstuck, okay, as relates to your business and finally start your business. The next tip I want to share with you is it's important that you're patient with yourself. Be patient. Be patient. We all don't have it all figured out. I wish it was that simple. And sometimes you may look at people and go, it's so simple for her, or it's so simple for him to do that. But we don't have it all figured out. We're like relying on the Lord to reveal to us what's our next step with the business. What's the next turn that I need to make? Who are those next people I need to work with? What's that next arm of my business I need to start? When do you want me to close the business, sell it, and go and then move over to another venture? So again, we all don't have it all figured out, but it's important that you trust the Lord and that you're writing down what He's given to you, those ideas that He's given to you, and go before Him regarding what you need to do. Another thing I want you to recognize too, it's important that you give yourself time to learn. Please write this down. Please don't forget this and write this down. It's important that you give yourself and you allow yourself time to learn. I call it a mini retreat. I've actually dedicated that this is the year, this whole year, I've kind of shut down a little bit, haven't been that visible, doing a lot of things, because one of the things that I needed to do is to really figure out, what do I need to do to build a strong foundation? What are some new tools that I need to implement in my business? What are some things that I need to learn? You know, I need to improve my skill set in certain aspects, certain technology, certain systems. And then also I've invested in a coach too that allowed me to learn from her to understand what has she done to be able to be very successful in her business, and go before the Lord. What do you want me to do or to implement or to incorporate it in the business that I've learned from my coach? So I promised myself early this year that I want to do things right. I didn't want to go out there and try to do some of the things and kind of wing it. I want to use my administration gift and say, I need to slow down for a moment, shut it down for a moment. There was a time where I was off of social media. And for some of you, you probably remember that time, because I know some people, I felt bad because I like to be able to provide content, but I know there were some people saying, where's Kimberly? She's not doing lives. I haven't seen her in a while. But the reason why I shut myself down from that is because I wanted to get quiet and I was in training mode. So that I've said, Kimberly, when I come back out and provide training and resources, I really want to be a resource to you. I really want to train and educate you on the right systems that you should be using for your business. And that's what I did. So it is okay, business owner. It is okay, entrepreneur, to shut it down. Identify some things you have to let go of in your life so you're able to focus more on the Lord and the business and what you need to do next in your business. So be patient with yourself. Give yourself some time to learn new things. To learn some new things. And for those of us who have worked in corporate America and you've gotten promoted or you had jobs, right? You know, it's wonderful when you have that new opportunity. But I tell you, sometimes we beat ourselves up so much, right? Because of that what? That learning curve. We want to be able to walk in there and make decisions and have people do certain things. We want to be able to go in there and implement tools and implement all these things, right? Because we're used to doing that in our past companies that we work for in our career. But as you know, when you are in a new position, when you are in a new track or a new field or a new area, there comes a time where you need to slow down and you need to learn and be okay with having that wide or long learning curve. Okay, so for you, think about what are some things you really need to learn. What have you been watching other people do? Maybe you have coaches or mentors or people that you admire. What have they been doing that you haven't started yet, that you haven't done yet? When you've done your research regarding your industry and your business, what are some of the trends in that industry and that business that you really need to pay attention to, even though you may not understand all the terminology, all the systems and stuff? But identify what are those things, and then dedicate some time for you to be okay, to have that learning curve and to learn those new things. I tell you, a lot of companies that are no longer here or no longer effective or have downsized or we haven't heard about or they went away, they neglected the step of researching and staying relevant and staying current. One of my mentors, Hodge Flemings, always talks about that, staying relevant. And that really stuck with me because when I heard him say that, you know, are you relevant? I want to ask you, are you relevant? Is your business relevant? Are you really able to provide a service for people and individuals and companies who need it? Or are you working on something that may be obsolete? So it's important that you are relevant, you're staying current, you're doing your research, and you're dedicating, spending some time to be able to provide the training or get the training that you need. And then the last thing that I'll end with on this. Again, we're talking about what are some of the things that you need to do to get unstuck and really start your business this year. The last thing that I would say to you is it's okay to try. Actually, I can't believe I even said that word. That's one of the words I do not like. when people say, I'm trying to do something or I'm trying to do that, I'm like, nuh-uh. Either, you're doing it. Don't, scratch the word try. You are doing it. When you are relevant and you are dedicated to being able to work on that particular task or that goal, and you're putting action to it, you are doing it. You're not trying it. You are doing it. So one of the things I want to end this live with, this tip that I want to give to you, is that it's okay to step out. I'll call it walking on water. Step out into a brand new area with starting your business. Yes, I know there are a lot of different levels, a lot of forms and documents that you may need, and we'll tackle that down the road, okay? Don't get caught up in all the extra stuff that needs to be completed for a business. Right now, my goal for you today is to help you to get unstuck. And you can get unstuck by not being fearful of the ideas that the Lord gives you that's in your mind. Document those ideas so you don't lose it. Be flexible with yourself and the timing of things, because I tell you, you'll know when you need to pick that idea up, or you'll know when you need to implement or incorporate that idea into your business. But be flexible and be patient with yourself. And know that you don't have to know all of it now, but if you keep a mind of learning and growing and being teachable, it's one of my favorite words, meek. Someone with the meek spirit, they're teachable. And being teachable and knowing that what God gives you with your business, that you'll be fine. You'll be okay with it. So I hope that you've enjoyed this live tonight for the business owners. And I would like to share with you, I've added a link at the top, and I'll put it down below too, giving you some free resources. So feel free to click the link above or below. There's some free resources there for you. Check them out. Enjoy the resources. Want it to be able to be a blessing to you. And again, it's not hard. You can do this. But the main thing is to get out of fear. Get out of fear. Get unstuck. And start your business. This is Kimberly Benjamin, your HR compliance coach. Checking out, and remember, be blessed. Bye-bye.